a beautiful morning. So, let's have another ghost story or ghostly encounter. Probably the craziest thing that has ever happened to me, paranormal wise. My wife, I don't know if it's a condition or just the type of sleeper she is, but she regularly has what we determined was night terrors. In other words, she'll be having a bad dream, and you know how some people talk in their sleep? Well, my wife will start like screaming. And the first time it happened to me, it was actually pretty funny. It was shortly after our first child was born, and she started screaming bloody murder. And I thought that the baby was dead or something like that, so I'm freaking out. And so I grab her and she falls out of the bed, and next thing I know, she's just looking at me and going, What? Why'd you wake me up? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Are you freaking serious right now? So, that's one of those things that you don't find out sometimes till after you're married. But I guess she's had this happen to her all her life. Her sisters have told me stories, and her dad and stuff. Anyway, so because the night terrors thing wasn't uncommon for her to have, I've become used to it. So when it happens now, I usually just lie there and wait for her to stop, or sometimes if I'm sleeping and it wakes me, I'll just like put my pillow over her and try to muffle the sound until she wakes up. Not trying to kill her or anything, just quiet her down. And so I'm lying there in bed and she's sleeping, and she starts having a night terror. So I roll over to put my pillow over her, and as I roll over, there's this face directly over my head, floating over me. And I freak out because I'd had my eyes closed and everything like that, so I might have even been slightly asleep. And when this face is, right in my face, I think someone's broken into the house. I think someone's broken into the house and, they're in the room. So my first gut reaction is to start attacking this person. So I start swinging my fist and clawing at this face. So, once, whatever this thing realized I was trying to attack it, and again, I'm just flailing at this thing, as I'm lying there. Because if it's a person, I'm going to do my best to kick its ass. Well, like I said, its face is over my face, and all of a sudden it lifts. It floats up to the ceiling and slowly floats off to the corner of the room. And when that happens, when it starts floating, I'm just in shock, right? I'm just dumbfounded. So, because I'm a pretty rational guy, my immediate thought isn't, oh my gosh, a ghost. My immediate thought is, oh, I was asleep. And in falling asleep, I must have had a dream, and this dream was this ghost thing. Okay, not a big deal. So again, this thing lifts up, starts floating away, and my first thought isn't, oh my gosh, a ghost. My first thought is, oh, I was asleep. I had a bad dream. Something like that. And I write it off pretty quickly. That's what happened. Well, the next day, I was actually at home. I came home from work to have lunch, and so I'm sitting there eating, and my wife comes out, and she says, "Hey, what happened last night?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She says, "There was something floating over the bed, and I started screaming at it, and you woke up, and you tried to punch it, and then it lifted up, it floated up to the ceiling, and floated off into the corner of the room." And at this point, I'm about to crap my pants. I'm just like, wait a second. You saw something floating? Oh yeah, it was floating right over you. And I said, and you saw me try to hit it? Yeah. And you saw it float up? Yeah. So, At that moment, I'm terrified. Because now it's gone from, okay, she had a night terror. I woke up and had a foggy, dreamy encounter, whatever, to, holy crap, what I saw was there because she saw it too. And I to this day, it remains the single scariest paranormal thing that's ever happened to me, and the only one that I cannot simply write off as coincidence. You know, my other stories that I've told, I can say, oh yeah, something happened here, something happened there. You know, the dryer door was loose or wiggly and that's why it popped open. Or, you know, electronics can randomly have surges or something like that, right? I'm totally okay believing that my other paranormal encounters have earthly explanations. But this was the single most in-my-face definite account that I can't explain. Anyway, guys, here we are at work again. That's the conclusion of this ghost story. We'll see you next time. Bye.